Hello, I'm Reverend Onyx. This is another video that I'm making for everybody out there, giving you some of my thoughts on integrity and honesty. Primarily integrity, but the difference between integrity and honesty. As most of you already know, I'm the priest at Lady of the Circle and the Oaks here in Lexington, North Carolina. If you like my videos, please share them, comment to them. If you don't like them, comment to them as well. Let me know what you think. Now, Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines integrity as a firm adherence to a code of especially moral or artistic values. The origin for the word integrity comes from the Latin integritas, which could be translated as intact or whole. Um, Integrity, in a nutshell, is doing the right thing even if nobody is watching. In William Shakespeare's Hamlet, Act 1, Scene 3, Polonius says, "This above all, to thine own self be true." And one of the Greek aphorisms that was inscribed in the forecourt of the Temple of Apollo at Delphi, according to the Greek writer Pausanias, simply says, "Know thyself." Now, another quote that I'm going to give you here before I get off on my thoughts about it. Dr. Stephen R. Covey, who wrote The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, has this to say, quote, "Honesty is telling the truth. In other words, conforming our words to reality. Integrity is conforming our reality to our words. In other words, keeping promises and fulfilling expectations. This requires an integrated character, a oneness primarily with self, but also with life." End quote. You can be honest, conform to the facts, tell the truth, and not have integrity. To have integrity, to me, means looking at life and realizing what reality is and conforming yourself to that reality, whatever your reality happens to be. You're you're staying firm in your beliefs. You're staying firm in your faith. You're acting according to that internal moral compass that we all have. You're making decisions based on what the right thing to do is as you know it to be. All of us, I believe, have that internal moral compass that tells us what's right and what's wrong. It may be skewed at times. We are human, we make mistakes. But the important thing is to act in accordance with what we believe is right, what we believe to be our own will, our own true will, and the will of whatever divine we recognize. When we are acting with integrity and only with integrity, and we make choices based on that, we will be honest. Uh, Honesty to me is a fruit of the tree, so to speak, a fruit of the tree of integrity. Um, do what you say what you do. There are all manner of aphorisms concerning this throughout history. It's taught in school. It's taught from parent to child. Uh, but what I see in today's society is there seems to be a falling away of that. Um, we need to, as a whole, as a collective, we need to get back to understanding that you can be truthful, you can be honest, but not have integrity. Integrity is something that is a constant decision. It's not something that you either have or you don't have. Um, you can, for instance, we say that if there's a problem with a building, if we find an issue with a building, stones loose or foundation bad, we say that the integrity of that building has been compromised. The same thing applies to integrity as people. Um, Once integrity is compromised, then we have to go about rebuilding that integrity, rebuilding that building. We have to reestablish it. Uh, it's not always an easy process. We work toward that each and every decision we make, and understand that life is full of decisions, from small ones to large ones. Regardless of what our faith base is, our faith base gives us some guidance morally and ethically. Um, Regardless of what our ethnic background is, we get that as well from that background. As parents, we try to instill in our children the importance of integrity, um, the importance of being on time, the importance of treating people like you want to be treated, the importance of politeness, the importance of letting people know where you stand on something in a tactful way. There's an old song that says, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. That's absolutely true. We need to stay true to ourselves. As Bill the Bard says in Hamlet, you know, above all, this above all, to thine own self be true. If you cannot be true to yourself, how are you ever going to be true to anyone else? That's what integrity is to me. Um, Keep your appointments. Keep your word. For those magical folk out there that end their spells or end their incantations and all with "as I will, so mote it be," think about this. If what you say doesn't always happen, how can you expect your magic to work either? Because if there's any doubt that what you say will happen will actually come to pass, then your magic's not going to work either, because there's a doubt. We are co-creators of our own universe. We have the ability to affect change in our surroundings, whether that be magical incantations or whether it be through prayer or whatever, petition to an outside force, invocation or petition to an inside force, inner divine and outer divine. It doesn't matter. We have the ability to affect those things outside of us, our environment. And we also have the ability to affect those things within us. If you find by introspection and examination uh, that there's a character flaw there for some reason, that your integrity has been put in check, simply fix it, rebuild it, work on that within yourself. Go inside, fix that, rebuild that tower, rebuild that unshakable tower. Start by the little things, like, do what you say and say what you do. What you say has to happen. If I say I'm going to be there at 3 o'clock, I'm there at 3 o'clock. Usually way before, but I'm there at 3 o'clock. Now, obviously, life gets in the way, but if it's unavoidable, in my opinion, the thing to do to keep your integrity in check is to let the people know, or whoever you're there to meet, know as much ahead of time as possible that you have no control over it, but something has come up and you need to rearrange or reschedule whatever is going on. Don't just not show. Because you've said you're going to be there, you didn't make it happen. That is an integrity issue. Missing appointments is a big integrity issue. Um, when dropping back to my magical background, um, as I will, so mote it be. As I will, that's the way it must be. I tell people all the time, if you know that it will happen, you don't think that it will happen, you don't believe that it will happen, you know it will happen, You construct that in whatever realm you call it. I refer to it as the astral. Once you would construct that in the astral, because the material world is a direct reflection of the astral, if you construct it in the astral, it has no other choice than to manifest in the material. But if you have an integrity issue, then there is another choice. The choice is that it won't manifest. If you've got any doubt of your word, you know, the old saying, a witch's word is their bond. If you say you're going to do it, then do it. If you say it will happen, then make it happen. These things are all integrity things. Going back, integrity is doing the right thing, even if nobody's watching. I find so often in the news, you know, in the different media, people in the city that I live in, they get caught doing something that they shouldn't be doing, and they sob and they cry and they apologize and everything. But if you watch their body language and listen to their words, they're not sorry they did it. They're sorry they got caught. That's not integrity, folks. You know, integrity would be not doing it to begin with. If you don't want someone to find out about something you're gonna do, then that tells you you probably shouldn't do it. Listen to that still small voice inside. Listen to the way, you know, what it's telling you. The way to find out what's right and what's wrong and what's going on in your life is to sit and listen. You have to be in solitude and silence to listen to that still small voice. A lot of people avoid solitude and silence like the plague because they're afraid of what they might hear. Now think about that. We need to consider integrity to be a very, very important characteristic or value in our lives. It goes for everyone, but especially, in my opinion, especially those that wish to affect their environment around them and their environment within themselves, whether that's through magical means or mundane effort. Integrity is the key. Bottom line. I invite comments on this. If you disagree, please let me know. We can discuss it. I would enjoy intellectual conversation over this. Let me know what you think. Share this video as you were led. Check out the website if you wish. I'll see you next time. Until then, may you blessed be.